Hello everyone, you are on the channel History of the Ancient World. Today we're journeying back in time, about 4,500 years, to the land of the pharaohs. We're tackling one of history's greatest mysteries. How on earth were the Egyptian pyramids built? When you look at the Great Pyramid of Giza, it's just mind-boggling. We're talking about 2.3 million massive stone blocks, some weighing as much as an elephant, all stacked with incredible precision to create a structure that stood as the tallest man-made thing on Earth for almost 4 millennia. For centuries, people have thrown around all sorts of wild theories, from ancient aliens to lost technologies. But the truth, as archaeologists are slowly piecing it together, is even more fascinating. It's a story of human ingenuity, incredible organization, and sheer hard work. So, forget the flying saucers for a moment, and let's dive into the real story of the master builders of ancient Egypt. First, let's get one major myth out of the way. The pyramids were not built by slaves. This popular idea, largely thanks to Hollywood movies, is simply not supported by the evidence. Archaeological discoveries, including entire villages for the workers, show that these were skilled laborers, not captives. They were Egyptian citizens, many of them farmers who worked on the pyramids during the annual flooding of the Nile, when their fields were underwater. They were housed, fed, and even received medical care. Skeletons found near the pyramids show healed bones, suggesting they were well looked after. In fact, being a pyramid builder was a respected job, a way to serve the pharaoh and ensure their place in the afterlife. These weren't just workers, they were a community with a shared purpose, building a stairway to the heavens for their god king. So, where did all that stone come from? The bulk of the pyramid, the core blocks, were quarried from limestone right there on the Giza plateau, very close to the construction site. This made things a bit easier. But the outer casing, the beautiful, smooth, white limestone that would have made the pyramids gleam in the sun, came from a place called Tura, across the Nile. And the really heavy stuff, the massive granite beams used for the inner chambers, like the King's Chamber, was transported from Aswan, over 500 miles to the south. Imagine that journey. Quarrying these stones was a monumental task in itself. Workers would find cracks in the rock, hammer in wooden wedges, and then soak them with water. As the wood expanded, it would split the stone. They used copper tools, which were relatively soft, and a lot of grit and determination. They would then shape these blocks with incredible precision, using simple but effective tools. Now for the million-dollar question, how did they move these colossal blocks? We're talking about stones averaging 2.5 tons each. Recent discoveries have given us some amazing clues. A key piece of the puzzle is an ancient papyrus, the journal of a man named Mera. Mera was an official, a foreman, who oversaw a team of about 40 elite workers. His diary, one of the oldest papyri ever found, details the transportation of the white limestone from Tura to Giza. He describes how his crew would load the stones onto large wooden boats and navigate them through a specially constructed system of canals. They essentially created a water highway that brought the boats right to an inland harbor just a few hundred feet from the base of the pyramid. This discovery completely changed our understanding. It wasn't just brute force over land. It was a sophisticated system of water transport, using the power of the Nile and human engineering to their advantage. For the granite from Aswan, they would have used massive barges, waiting for the annual flood to raise the water level and make the journey north easier. Once the stones arrived at the construction site, the real challenge began, lifting them into place. This is where the debate really heats up among experts. The most widely accepted theory is the use of ramps. But what kind of ramp? A single, long, straight ramp would have been impossibly huge, eventually becoming larger than the pyramid itself. So archaeologists have proposed other ideas. One is a spiral ramp, like a road that corkscrews up the outside of the pyramid as it's being built. Another popular theory is an internal ramp system. This suggests that after a certain height, the builders constructed a ramp inside the pyramid's core, spiraling upwards. A recent thermal scan of the Great Pyramid did reveal some strange anomalies, some voids inside which some believe could be evidence of such an internal ramp still sealed within the structure. It's a brilliant idea because it solves the problem of a massive external ramp. They might have also used a combination of different ramp types, perhaps a straight ramp for the lower levels and a spiral one for the higher, more difficult sections. To pull the blocks up these ramps, they would have used ropes and wooden sleds. An ancient tomb painting actually depicts this process. It shows a large statue being moved on a sled by a team of workers, with one person pouring water on the sand in front of it. For a long time, people thought this was just a ceremonial gesture. But a few years ago, physicists did an experiment and found that wetting the sand in front of a sled reduces the friction by half. It makes it dramatically easier to pull heavy objects. So this wasn't just a ritual. It was a clever bit of ancient physics that allowed smaller teams to move gigantic weights. It's another perfect example of how the Egyptians used their deep understanding of the natural world to achieve the seemingly impossible. They combined simple machines like levers, sleds, and ramps with a massive, well-organized workforce. Let's talk about that workforce. Building the Great Pyramid is estimated to have taken about 20 years. To achieve this, you need incredible project management. We're talking about coordinating tens of thousands of people, managing supply chains for food, tools, and materials, and keeping everyone working efficiently towards a single goal. The workers were divided into crews with names like the Drunkards of Menkaure or the Friends of Khufu, which fostered a sense of team spirit and competition. Foremen like Merer kept detailed logs, tracking progress and managing logistics. It was like a modern mega construction project, but without spreadsheets or computers. The level of planning and administration required was just as impressive as the engineering itself. They surveyed the land with astonishing accuracy, aligning the pyramid almost perfectly with the cardinal directions. The base of the Great Pyramid is level to within just a couple of centimeters. This precision, achieved with simple tools like plumb bobs and siding rods, is a testament to their skill as surveyors and architects. So when we look at the pyramids, we shouldn't see the work of aliens or some forgotten super science. We should see one of the greatest human achievements in history. It's a story of a society that came together, pooling its knowledge, resources, and labor to create something truly eternal. They weren't just piling up rocks, they were building monuments powered by bread, beer, and belief. The pyramid was a national project, a resurrection machine for their pharaoh, which they believed would ensure the stability and prosperity of the entire kingdom. The ingenuity lies not in some secret technology, but in their mastery of logistics, their understanding of simple physics, and their ability to organize and motivate a massive workforce. The real secret of the pyramids is the power of human collaboration and a shared vision. What they built with their hands and their minds has inspired awe and wonder for millennia, and it continues to be a powerful symbol of what we can achieve when we work together. Thank you so much for joining us on this journey back to ancient Egypt. I hope this has shed some light on the incredible builders of the pyramids. What part of their process do you find most impressive? Let me know in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this video and want to explore more mysteries of the ancient world with us, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you won't miss our next adventure. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.